You don't need to put the function inside a repeating command block. You could run the function in chat, where the last command in the function is /Gamerule GameLoopFunction. Right-click main.
To be honest, instead of putting a repeating command block, you could do Gamerule GameLoopFunction function.
Can't you just get rid of the repeating command block in the middle and put the functions in a GameLoopFunction Gamerule?
Hello everybody, this is King Cat, and I'm here to talk about today just a little subject that's been bothering me for a bit. So I just showed you some comments from videos that I've created, and granted they're all insightful comments. I am not making fun of the people who wrote those comments, because their questions are sound. Why, King Cat, do you have your function packs installed the way they are? So, if you're new to my channel or you're watching this, I will get to my suggestion in a minute, but first we need some background. So, for all of the function creations that I've got on my channel, every single one is installed in the same way. I have the user first copy the function files to whatever world they want to play the function on, and then I have them place down a command block and run an init function, which initializes all the scoreboard objectives that function needs to run, and then replaces that command block that they placed down with the repeating command block running the main function for my game pack. And then they just leave the command block there and go away. So the command block that's still there runs the main function for my function pack, and that accomplishes all the necessary tasks, each tick, for the function to run smoothly. Now, the one downside to this method is the fact that it takes up space. There's a command block. You wanted to put your precious diamonds where your command block is now, and you can't remove it. So there's a problem there, and people have suggested to me better solutions. But are they truly better? Personally, I don't think so. And this is my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Leave a comment arguing your side. I'm not trying to offend anyone here. So, some people have suggested to me that instead of using a command block to repeatedly execute the main function, I should use the Gamerule GameLoopFunction, which basically executes a single function that you set it to every tick. And they suggest my init function, instead of placing down a command block, have it replace the current game loop function with the main function of my function pack. But this brings up its own problem. I have many function packs on my channel, or at least like 4, and what if someone wants to play multiple of them at the same time? What if someone wants to have homes and set homes and redstone transmitters and receivers? Well, they're going to have to install one at a time, and once they install the second function pack, that function would overwrite the game loop function of the first, and that function pack's main function would be executed successfully, but the other function pack would just sit there, because its main function would no longer be executed after the Gamerule game loop function was overwritten by the second function pack. So I pointed this out to the people who were commenting, and they replied back, well, King Cat, why don't you just have the user have a function file, a game loop function file, where they put all the main functions, where they execute all the main functions of the command block packs that they've got installed. And ultimately, this is a good solution. It works without a flaw, but I still have a problem with it, because what I try to do with my creations is make them as easy as possible for the end user to install and use. Granted, maybe that's not always the case, but I try my best. And I don't want the end user to have to edit any code at all. And with this solution, of course, they do have to edit code, and that's a problem. I don't want the end user to have to edit code like that. So that is why I go back to my original solution. We've now got 3 possible solutions, 2 that work and 2 that just doesn't really, and 2 that work and 1 that just doesn't really work. So we've got use a command block, that takes up space, that's the con, but it's easy for the end user. We've got overwrite the game loop function, that just doesn't work at all. And then we've got have a main file, but the con for that is that it's unintuitive to the user. But what if I told you that there could possibly be a fourth option, and this fourth option would be easy, intuitive to use, and it wouldn't require any space. But unfortunately, this fourth option requires a little help, a little intervention from Mojang. So my feature suggestion to Mojang, my request, if you will, is that they change the GameLoopFunction from executing one single function to a list of functions that, much like the scoreboard tags command, can be added to and removed from. So imagine that instead of having a single game loop function, you had a list of functions that Minecraft just executed every tick. And you could add to them using a command, you could remove them using a command, and you could also list them using a command. Then then basically we go back to the option 2, the option that didn't work before, overwrite the game loop function. Now this works because we're no longer overwriting the game loop function, we're just adding onto it. And this allows for seamless installation. There is no code to edit, and there potentially would be no command blocks because the user runs an init file, and the init file, when it sets up all the scoreboard objectives for the function pack, also adds itself to the game loop function list. Of course, this is not a feature that's currently in Minecraft, which is why it's a request that I make to Mojang. They'll probably never see this, but I still think it's a good idea to at least make the idea somewhat known. So yeah, that's about it. My feature request or suggestion is that Mojang change the game loop function to a game loop function list that can be added to and removed from, to make it more intuitive to use functions for the end user. So let me know down in the comment section if you disagree with me, if you think this would be a good idea or a bad idea. I'd really like to hear from you guys. And please do remember to leave a like if you thought my argument was sound. And if you want to see more of this type of content, subscribe. If you want to see more content about function packs, subscribe as well, because I'll be doing more of that in the future as well. And overall, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.